My name is Michael Hunter. I made this video for people who need to know the true origin of aliens and other mythical creatures like Bigfoot. Some of the information you hear and see in this video might be disturbing to some. It might be hard to believe. So discretion is advised. I'm going to show you in this video that aliens are not who they say they are. They don't come from where they say they come from. And they're not here for the reason you think they're here. I also want to warn that if you're comfortable thinking what you already think and believing what you already believe, then this video is not for you.
You're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
You can't spend a lot of time on the phone, so give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
In some way, something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now.
It's the government, or
I don't know.
it has to be something, though.
Well, did you hear? Now, you tell me because you were listening.
That was awful strange.
There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off?
Yeah, real weirded out.
Going sort of sounding paranoid,
Yeah.
schizophrenic.
Like crying and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far into the conversation was it when it went off?
It's just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds, I'd say.
Oh, you
Something like
guys missed. You really missed the call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
that. Yeah. Because it was really strange. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Mark Furman, and when I
That's right. Well, the network, of course, went immediately to a backup tape while we tried to figure out what blew up here. So that's what you heard happen. And then we're now on a backup link system to be on the air at all right now.
No. Where is it? Where is it?
Hey! Die! William. My brother. Oh. They're watching. Ah, they come through the window. Ah, get it, man. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, no. Ah, ah.
Very nice. Beautiful person. Full of love.
Your relationship with these people seems to have changed a lot, John, since you were 16.
Yes. Yes. They've imparted a lot of information onto me. And me back to them. I've helped on the grand scheme of things. And it's just about time for the unveiling.
What is the unveiling, John?
The genetic upgrade of the human being. The star children. The fight. The war.
What fight? What war?
The war for the control of humanity. It's what you call good and evil. There are more than one entity out there. And for us to survive and surpass, I have to help these. I have to help the alien upgrade us very, very, very quickly. Within 2 to 3 generations. I'm the second generation. My son's third. Nothing to worry about. They can't hurt us. They're too strong.
Who is they?
They're reticulites. You know them as the Greys. They formed an alliance here on Earth with certain parties. It's all right. Everything will be all right. They can do their damage. We will fix it. The new human will have power beyond anything we've ever known. If need be, our food will be light and sound. We'll be able to levitate. We'll live for up to 5,000 years. And we'll be telepathic. When this kicks in, it will be quick. The time is near. What you once called angels, and now call aliens,
Okay, John, do you think it would be advantageous at this point to channel your guide, Armistice?
I'm already here.
You're already here, Armistice?
Yes.
Okay, welcome. How long have you been with us?
20 minutes.
Okay, so most of the messages we've heard in the last 20 minutes have come from you?
Partly.
Partly. Perhaps you could explain why you mix John's consciousness with yours when you're delivering messages.
It's a very complex system. Our energy's too strong for human. It takes a long time and many years of backward-forwards exchange of information. And we find it's easy to use people who have had their chemical gateways open through near-death experience or some traumatic event that opens the chemical gate and makes it easier for us to receive in the way John does.
You made the people?
Yes, you are our children.
What do you look like?
You would find it hard to look upon my face.
Why?
We're different.
Pretty? Or not so pretty?
We think we are, but you probably would think not. We made you in our image. But there are differences.
Would we call you scary?
Sometimes.
Why did you scare John so much when he was 3 years old?
It was not us. It was the zero reticulates.
The who?
Sorry. That was the Greys.
The Greys?
Yes.
They terrified John?
Yes. It's just genetic material. Means nothing. The lab rat. To them he was a lab rat. They have no emotion.
Are they bad?
Yes.
Very bad?
Yes. Bad for humanity. Very, very bad for humanity.
Are they a threat?
They have been for a long time. Many kings have been suffering their influence. Many empires throughout history have suffered their influence. The world won't have to suffer their influence much longer. War will cease. Killing will cease.
Were you there when John was 16?
Yes.
He was very scared then?
Yes.
You scared?
I always knew. Man has their hands on many gadgetry. All intended for good, mostly used for war.
Do you know of the Ethereans?
Yes.
Who are they?
They're another race. They are another race that have given human one upgrade. Human have had 37 upgrades since their inception. They're now on their 38th. This is scientifically provable. Geneticists know this, certain geneticists. Star children. The star children are our future.
There are some people here
Yes.
who worship the Ethereals.
Yes. Many of the upgrades in human have been made to make them worship or follow a certain path. Not necessarily good for their future. The human DNA, scientists say, has 97% junk DNA. Scientists of B know this is not to be true. They just don't know what, they just don't want us to know. Don't want John to know. Don't want you to know. Don't want humans to know. Don't want us to know what the rest of the DNA actually does.
Someone we spoke to
Yes.
said we were being farmed
Yes.
for body parts.
To articulate.
True?
Yes. Zeta reticulates need nourishment in the form of fluids, rotting flesh, liquid, horrible. We gather our food we ingest, plus we use light and sound.
So aliens are real?
Yes.
UFOs are real?
Yes.
Was Roswell real?
That's all Zeta reticulates. We jumped in.
You jumped in.
Yes. Our collective jumped in to try and stop the information gathering. A meeting was formed. President Dwight Eisenhower, 1952. We wanted them to stop nuclear, get natural, free energy, no oil, no nuclear. Zeta reticulates offered them more nuclear, pretty toys.
And if you were there when John was 16,
Yes.
how old are you?
Around 3,000.
3,000.
Around.
Are you an old fella?
I'm an adult.
A pensioner?
I'm an adult.
Ready to retire?
Halfway.
Halfway.
Yes.
So you'll live to 6,000.
Roughly 6,000 to 9,000. The first ones we left on this earth when we said it lived because of the Earth's atmosphere and because of the transference of energy, roughly about 6,000 years. So we're living, basically living gods. but they were not gods. They ruled with love. They didn't rule, but they guided with love. Modern day person would call it ruling.
Did they have anything to do with the pyramids?
The pyramids are far older than the scientists, what scientists say they are. They know this. They know how old they are. They just don't want you and I, you and I to know. You can see John.
You and I?
Yes.
You mean you and
John?
What about Jesus?
Read the Talmud of Emmanuel. There you will find the true Jesus.
The what?
There you will find the true Jesus.
Someone told me he was a Venetian.
No. He was a human.
$3,000 years old. It's a long time, fella.
Yes.
Have you had to kill any humans?
Yes.
Hurt people?
Yes.
Why?
Self-sanctity.
Now you have just heard from two witnesses involved in so-called alien abductions or alien research. They did explain that these are in fact not aliens from other planets. In matter of fact, aliens from other planets do not exist. They are extra-dimensional beings, not extraterrestrial beings, which makes them spiritual entities. According to ancient scriptures or ancient text, these spiritual beings came from heaven. They were angels that rebelled against God, and as part of their rebellion, they disconnected themselves with the life and light of God and became transformed. The book of Genesis in the Bible records Enoch as walking with God, and then God removed them from the earth. But Enoch was referred to, as Enoch described, by the watchers or the angels before that happened. Enoch records that there were captains of the 200 angels that rebelled against God, and he also records what these angels taught the humans on the earth. And he also records the fact that God did pronounce judgment and Enoch delivered his judgment. Now I'm just going to give you a basic overview without details, but I suggest you study and research this stuff for your own benefit. But here are some of the things that these angels taught of the secrets in heaven. They taught humans on the earth. They taught the signs of the earth, the resolving of enchantments, which is like witchcraft, making of knives and swords, shields, weaponry, and how to devise ornaments and cosmetics. They taught the art of cosmetics, the use of weapons and killing blows, which is the art of fighting and probably like kung fu. They taught astrology, which people still practice today. They taught signs of the clouds, which is meteorology. They taught courses of the moon. There's one in particular which was resident of the nether realms. He commands 365,000 surrogate spirits. One of the leaders, he was the main leader, was Samyaza, who taught them all to rebel against God. They taught the signs of the sun. There was another one here that convinced the angels initially to marry human women. And of course, when they married the human women, they had sex with them, and they are the ones that bore the giants, because angels are really quite huge. These angels that rebelled and sinned against God by mixing themselves with human flesh were sentenced to eternal judgment, eternal damnation. Enoch delivered the sentence for God to the angels after the angels petitioning Enoch to pray for them and ask for forgiveness from God. But God said, because you are spirit beings and thought you had eternal life, because you are a spirit, you will not be spared. There will be no forgiveness. These angels were bound by Raphael in chains of darkness even to this day. They are not on the earth. So where do these aliens come from? These aliens that or these entities that we call aliens, actually come from the rebellion before that Satan created. His name was Lucifer. He was one of the head angels. And he sinned against God and convinced 1/3 of all the angels in heaven to rebel and follow him. These are the angels. These are the spirit beings that the Apostle Paul calls principalities and powers in high places. The earth is covered in darkness with millions of these entities. Well, we're pretty much at the end of this mini documentary. I want to thank you for watching. But let's recap. First of all, I want to say that there are numerous more records and research and study that could be presented here. Lots of ancient text verifying that what you've seen so far is the truth. But let's kind of recap again what we've seen. I think what we've learned in this video is that aliens are not from other planets. They are extra-dimensional or interdimensional beings. Their ships are dimensional, and they are spirit beings. They disguise themselves and present themselves as aliens from other planets because that's what they're hoping you're going to believe in. You see, it's easier to present themselves as such when people don't believe in God. It's easier to believe in a higher power with great technology and advanced technology that's awesome to us. And it's easier to believe in that than it is an old-fashioned God. But the truth of the matter is these entities do disguise themselves. They creep around in the night under the cover of darkness. They have black eyes for a reason, to filter out the light because they're more comfortable in the dark. They sneak into people's houses uninvited. They steal children from the parents without permission, obviously. Kidnapping is a federal offense, and it's a moral offense. Then they steal DNA, genetic material against our will. They implant false memories, lie to us, cause trauma, fear, and mental instability. These are not our friends. They are not here to help. They are our enemy. An enemy that's superior, had been around for ancient hundreds of years, practicing deception on every nation, on every kingdom that's ever been on earth. And there's one person who defeated them when he came to this earth from God, and his name is Jesus Christ. In fact, let me just say this, that it's a known fact that alien abductions stop when people use the name of Jesus. That's how much power that name has, because that's a name that God has ordained and authorized, a name above every name, on earth, below the earth, forever in eternity. And if you take a few minutes and study, and don't believe me just because I say so, but do the research yourself, your own well-being and your own salvation is up to you. What you believe is your decision. What you understand is up to you. No one can make you go to hell. No one can make you go to heaven. That's your decision. Escape what's coming on the earth. Massive destruction. End to all wars by the mega war called Armageddon. They know what's coming, and you should know what's coming, and be prepared. Thank you for watching this video. For more information about Jesus Christ, the Bible, or about eternal salvation, please subscribe to this channel, or contact me via email at thewordhehaspoken@gmail.com.